Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I've been seriously meaning to make this video for a very long time. I had it planned back in March, believe it or not. So, it's about acid reflux. First, before we get started, I want to ask you all, how many of you have acid reflux? It's actually pretty common among just anyone. It's not specific to chronic illness, but if you have a chronic illness, you're more than likely to have it because of all the medicines we take and just, of course, our body wants to fail us, right? I have had acid reflux for quite some time. I am currently on omeprazole, and it's just because it got so bad that I was having trouble laying down at night and I was sick of it. I am on omeprazole currently, and that's one of the main medications that are prescribed for acid reflux or GERD. Don't love it because it essentially does make GERD worse, and I learned this in pharmacology in college, but acid reflux is really hard to get rid of. So essentially the medication actually does, even though it gets rid of it, it does make it worse if you do come off the medicine. So you got to be careful with that. Keep that in mind. But the best way to treat it without medication would be to avoid the triggers. They also say to not eat 2 hours before bedtime because you lay down and everything just wants to come on up. So I'm going to get into the foods that are the best to eat and the worst to eat. All right, starting with the best to eat. So alkaline foods are great. So think healthy vegetables and fruits and some nuts even. That's going to be your bananas, your melons. Cauliflower is great. Any cruciferous vegetable is going to be great. Also, nuts in general can be good. Fennel is listed on there as well, so some alkaline foods. Any water-based food is going to be helpful, so think of watermelon, cucumbers, any herbal teas that are not caffeinated. Then any of your high fiber foods are going to be helpful. So I have a green smoothie every day, and that is obviously really high in fiber. You can start your day with oatmeal. That's going to be high in fiber as well. And then there's also beets, carrots are, sweet potatoes, and really any of your green vegetables. That's why the smoothies are great. Something else that can be really helpful is ginger. So making a healthy herbal ginger tea is great for acid reflux. Now the fun stuff, so getting into some things that you should avoid, and you've probably heard many of these, especially if you have acid reflux. The ones I just listed were the best foods for your body, and now we're getting into some of the more dangerous foods, like processed foods, for example, which everyone knows, not great to eat, but sometimes it's hard to avoid that temptation. Chocolate is on the list. I love chocolate. Chocolate is great. It gives me life sometimes. But unfortunately, it does make your acid reflux worse. Spicy foods are a big one. I do love a little bit of spice in my foods from time to time, so that one hurts my heart. And essentially, a lot of the spices are not necessarily unhealthy, so that's a sad one for me. Another sad one is tomato-based foods, so your pasta sauce, any diced tomatoes, tomatoes with salad, it's best to avoid them, especially closer to when you're going to be laying down. And then we also have citrus fruits. So OJ is a huge contender there. It's one of the reasons why I don't drink orange juice, and I actually avoid oranges, even though they're pretty dang good. And I love a good mimosa. So leading into that, alcohol is another one that's not great. It's okay occasionally, obviously, but it's best to avoid it if you don't want to have acid reflux. And then I mentioned this before, caffeine. So caffeine is another one that's gonna upset your stomach. That's the list. Were there any on that list that surprised you that you might not have known? I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like the video and hit that subscribe button. Bye!